It's one thing to start a business, it's a whole nother thing to start a movement. And today's guest did just that. I have with me Tadashi, a Grammy-nominated hip-hop artist, co-founder of 116 Clique and Reach Records.
I genuinely believe anyone in a movement is, at that time, unaware it is a movement. Lecrae was there, Sho Baraka was there. Eventually, Trip Lee was a part of it.
Yep.
Honestly, bro, we would just sit and talk like, I want to make music that my cousins, my homies on the block, that they would actually want to listen to, but genuinely be who we are as Christians.
He talks about what made that group special and some of the pitfalls that he's seeing this current generation of artists and influencers get trapped in.
What is lacking, in my humble opinion currently, like I'm about to release a song called He Deserves. The whole reason I wrote the record is because we have become so transactional that now we don't have to have depth in our relationships. We just have to have enough benefit in the relationship that we do it. We lack the commonality because it's about commerce, not community. And we've moved beyond connection for the sake of what we can get from somebody.
If you're going to start a movement, you're going to need to do it with people. And if you're going to do it with people, it can't be transactional. If that's what you desire, this episode is for you. Welcome to the Faithustle Podcast, where we help young Christian entrepreneurs learn how to build their business and careers God's way. My name is Makwenda. I am your host. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 10 years. And through this podcast, we get the honor of having business owners, investors, people who've built incredible companies, done incredible things in their careers, but who have built their business God's way. They've done it in a biblical way. And today, I tell you, the 12-year-old me right now is freaking out. If I could tell 12-year-old Makwenda this moment would happen, he would not believe it. I have someone who is so influential in the Christian music space, hip hop space. And I mean, he's done so many incredible things, is the co-founder of 116 Clique, of a founding member of Reach Records, and has just done so many incredible things in the community for Christian entrepreneurs, for people who are artists in music, and such an incredible man of God. I'm excited to dive into today's conversation. Today we have Tadashi.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What's happening, bro?
Come on, man.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you, man. Listen, let me tell you something. If the yesterday-year-old me would have been told about today, I wouldn't believe it. I'm like, you talking about the 12-year-old you? I'm like the yesterday-year-old.
Yeah,
come
literally.
on, man.
Shout out to Matt.
That's right, man.
Matt introduced us and was like, "Hey, man, y'all should get together." And I was like, yeah, like, do you want to film Tadashi? Do I want to film Tadashi? Are you kidding me? So, okay, I told you I wouldn't share the story until on camera.
Yeah, that's right. I want to hear this.
Imagine I'm 12. Stomp the Yard just came out.
Okay,
so we're crumping. That's all we're doing. You know what I mean? And so where
were you? Where was this happening? Were you in LA?
No. We're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah, where I'm from.
Wow.
Shout out to H-Burg. And in my dad's church, it was in the hood. And so we would do dances and stuff, like we would do it to Kirk Franklin and, Our God's an Awesome God, all that stuff.
Yes.
But Go Hard came out, and that was our primary crumping song. And we're just doing this, and I'm doing
I love it.
I'm doing the slow motion. Man, you couldn't tell us nothing, man. But no, seriously, what y'all did, I mean, y'all were the soundtrack of my teenage years, of my early teenage years. We didn't have a lot of music that was just cool.
We
had Shackles, and that was about it. Of like that, you can bump to, and so y'all just brought something so unique. I just wanted to honor you, saying thank you for what you did. You paved the path for so many, and
thank you, bro.
Now we're seeing the rise of so many, even more Christian art. But that was not the case.
No, it was
back
not.
Then at all.
It was not, bro.
And for it to be good, let's just clarify, for it to actually be a bop and move, not just all right, we hear your testimony, man, but I want to dance.
I want to like it.
Yeah, I want to like it. So y'all paved the path, man.
Man, thank you, bro. Listen, so many thoughts are going through my mind right now. You reminded me of a moment. I'm laughing because I don't ever put Harrisburg and crumping together. First off, That don't happen in my brain. In my brain, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Crumping never would have been in the same sentence.
We were doing it.
You made it happen.
Yeah.
Man. And then on top of that, I do remember a time where there was either not Christian hip hop or where it was so unknown or not necessarily someone's cup of tea that you ended up having to do current dance moves to the most up-tempo gospel song that was out.
Literally.
I was like, yo, I remember the moments where it was like,
Hosanna
is what I'm going to do this dance to, even though this don't go together at all.
Not
but this
at all.
is my option. This is what I got.
It's all we had.
So I never really considered that. I started doing music with such a mission mindset that I never thought about the fact that this was going to provide a sound for people to do things that they only could do to Kirk Franklin songs.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's
and
crazy.
Mary, like that's it. 100%. It was so. Again, I think, and I hope no one that's grew up takes it for granted because, like, for me, again, it was like the soundtrack that, like, okay, I can listen to this because, like, I love God, but like I wasn't about my faith until I got later into my teenage years.
Yeah.
And so it gave me okay, I can listen to this and not feel corny or feel cheesy, and it's like. And I connected to the message and what y'all kept the gospel.
Amen.
And from the jump.
That's what's up.
And like you gonna know these scriptures. And it was just a blessing, man. And I know you guys are continuing to do that, but I just wanted to say thank you.
That's good.
Because it set the path for me, man.
That's good, bro. No, I love that. That's good. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, 12-year-old you. What was the hairstyle for 12-year-old you?
Oh man, I'll say this. My parents were pastors, so they did not let me go crazy.
I was like,
had nothing.
The preface said it all. It was like, well, let me let you know first.
I wanted cornrows.
Okay,
because this was the AI era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Alan, and not AI, artificial intelligence, Allen Iverson.
Yo, that's funny.
I had the headband.
Yeah.
I had the wristband, like just walking on a normal Monday, but I wasn't allowed to get cornrows.
But you had the low Caesar. You had the fade. You had the fade. They was like,
not even. My parents were just like military, just like low all.
So you had the ag way. So in Texas, we called it going ag whenever somebody went ball. We was like, is that what you had the ball cut? Or you had the one. You had the one.
I had the one.
You had the one guard, and they just went over it and left it.
There was no fade. It was just like
sorry, bro.
I know.
Sorry.
I didn't get a fade until I was probably. I've never talked about this. I was like 17.
Sorry. This is a moment. This is a moment for you.
This is my moment. I was like
it's
17.
like a deep thing. Let's bring that out. Let's bring that out more.
Yeah, this is healing.
Yeah, it's healing for you. So when you got your first fade, what did your parents say about it?
You know what? I did it without their permission. I think at that point they're just
so you were in rebellion.
Yeah, I was.
Wow. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad.
He's fine with it now.
Everyone who's listening to this, just stretch your hands toward the speakers. Stretch your hand toward the speakers. We're gonna pray right now.
I receive healing. This is therapy, actually.
Yo, my man said, I'm sorry, Dad.
No, but back then they just associated cornrows of like, no, we don't want you out in the streets.
You're not gonna be a thug.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
not gonna be no thug.
Because we had everybody getting pregnant at 16 at that time.
Now, to
so
be
it's
fair
just like,
to your parents, though, the NBA did the very same thing to Allen Iverson. He showed up with cornrows, and they was like, okay, we got a thug here.
Thug, yeah.
So I mean, you know, that's kind of they kind of follow suit. Yeah.
Earrings too. It was like there's no earring, nothing that screams streets or 50 Cent or I wanted to wear a do-rag, just going like. No, only the bed.
So this, for me personally, begs the question, what was your attire while crumping in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
Now, to be fair, my fit was good.
Okay, I was about to be like...
I wore Rockaway.
No, I had on Dockers, and my dad made me tuck my shirt in, but I was going to crump.
No. I had FUBU. I had all this stuff.
All right.
I had Tim's.
Yeah.
I had that. I just the hair. And do-rags, they just were just not about it.
You can't do it.
Couldn't do it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, it is what it is. And so, but man, we're here to talk about business.
He's like, that's not why we here. This is not why I asked you to come here today. You didn't know.
No, but honestly, I'm
don't
reliving.
Fight the spirit. Don't quench the spirit. We here right now. We here.
I'm reliving so many things in my childhood that is bringing back so many memories. I'm like, yeah, I really did not do any hairstyle at all. Could not. I was restricted. But I can listen to good music. I can listen to
I'm proud of your freedom now. You got a little bit up top.
With a little bit up top.
That's as much you can do personally, but that's growth.
That's all.
Literally and figuratively. It's growth.
I've done this for 10 years too.
Good for you. Good for you, man.
Maybe one day I'll do
Good
twists.
for you.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe you'll see it
maybe.
up. But
take that, Dad. Take that.
My dad's gonna watch this and is like, dang, you really didn't like your hair. And I was getting free haircuts too from people at the church. You know, it was like the sound man, he was cutting me up.
That's the real reason you couldn't get the haircut. It had nothing to do with Allen Iverson. Yeah. They was like, we can't afford these cuts these kids getting.
Absolutely.
So you know how much it costs for somebody to braid your hair?
Oh man,
every week.
And then I wanted to do the line too, like when they were doing the line stuff. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, you wanted a part. You wanted to have a part design in your head.
Nope.
Yeah, you asking for too much now, bro.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much.
Yeah,
all right.
Man.
We gotta get into your story, man, because you gotta go. No. I'm so excited that we're doing this, man. Okay, I gotta hear, because I don't think I've heard it from your perspective before. Because again, for me, 116 was like, that was it. Of y'all were starting a whole movement, which I'm like, the thought, and I want to ask, did you even know that was that the intention for it to be a movement, or you're just like, oh man, this is like, we didn't know this was resonating. Like, I just love to hear that process, because again, you guys paved the way for so many. I'd love to hear, like, did you guys intend to do that? Was that, in the planning process, or it was just like, hey, it was just an organic thing that was happening? I'd love to
That's a great question.
Know that.
So true to form, I genuinely believe anyone in a movement is at that time unaware it is a movement. Now, genuinely, at some point, we recognized the movement was happening.
Right.
So it's not like we were oblivious at certain moments, but initially, no. Like sincerely. So I'll speak for me. Like, there were other people involved. Lecrae was there. Sho Baraka was there. Eventually, Trip Lee was a part of it.
Yep.
Shout out my man Ben Washer. Like we were all doing what we were doing. BJ was there.
Yep.
Like, we were all doing what we was doing, but honestly, bro, we would just sit and talk like, I want to make music that my cousins, my homies on the block, people I went to school with, like, that they would actually want to listen to, but genuinely be who we are as Christians. The phrase at the time in hip hop was "real, recognize real." Like, if I really come from that, like, if you don't really come from that,
don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it. And if you try to, we can see already you're not from there.
Yeah.
Like, I've lived in suburban places in the Dallas DFW Metroplex area, and I've been to events where I see kids who grew up in the suburbs try to act a certain way, and it is their interpretation of what hood or ratchet or whatever else would be. And it is very awkward. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. You can tell off top, like, that's not you.
That's
100%.
Not you.
We know that's not you. It's like, it's as obvious as me going to London and trying to have a British accent. It's like, where are you from for real? What you really about? It's not you. It's not you.
You went to Cherry Blossom Trail. That's where you lived at.
Right. You know what I'm saying? No. That's not you at all.
Yeah.
So I already knew, like, all right, man, if I'm going to do this and real recognize real, I can't come in here trying to pretend like I was out here, like I got bodies, or like, man, I've been out here fighting. Like I had to be real about what I came from.
Yeah.
So I was always going to do that. And so the two just kind of were a genuine, perfect marriage. And that's what we felt, man. We was like, yo, I want to make music so good that the radio want to play it. I want to make music so good that my family want to hear it. And while they listen and they like, wait, what you talking about? Like, I wanted that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and eventually I think a movement took place, not just because the music was good. I think that was a huge key component. But I think the movement took place because individuals finally found a way to feel like they could be proud of who they were as a Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, oh my Lord, I can be proud in a world that wants to make me feel shame for my faith.
Yeah.
I can be proud about my faith. Like, that was a big deal.
Absolutely. I mean, it was music you could say it with your chest. It was like no, there was.
Come on.
I mean, literally 116, unashamed.
Yeah.
And I think it was the grit of it, all of it. It was like, yeah, it was just this confidence that like you don't have, especially like who are attracted of like teenage. Freddie was telling me, who shout out to Freddie.
Shout out to Freddie, yeah.
And he was saying like when he first got saved, that was the music he listened to back in college and stuff of like
Word.
that was a soundtrack to his faith and his walk. And
wow,
it's just wild of like, I love hearing that. Like you didn't know, you're just responding to like, hey, we just want to be authentic of where we're at, but it's resonating to a whole group.
No, for real, bro. For real.
Yeah, I obviously Faith Hustle, we talk faith in business.
Sure.
So obviously there's the music of business.
Yeah.
Or the business of music, I should say. How did y'all, this movement starting, I'm assuming, you're putting albums out, you're starting a tour. As that's coming about, like did y'all know the business end? Like how'd you kind of get into it to learn? And honestly, part of it is like, especially with music business, and we're seeing it now, there's so many temptations with it and greed and stuff. Like how did y'all like, all right, we're representing him in music. How do we do that in business and still keep our integrity? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, all of us had graduated from Cornell with MBAs, so we were able to walk. No, not at all.
I was like, wait, what?
He was like, hold on, excuse me?
Really?
No, bro. No, we was some hood dudes who just started rapping, like who loved God. Like business was literally on the fly. Like it was a learn as you go, fly the plane as you build it type thing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's what it had to be. And I say unfortunately because there were some pitfalls, there were some lessons learned in the moment, but that's kind of the lifestyle of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Where you are building the plane and flying it at the same time.
Absolutely.
Now, I will say, even as you asked the question, the first thing that came to mind, all of us knew, and I want to say our faith kind of helped make this a reality for us. All of us knew we had roles to play. And I think a lot of times movements, organizations, or even just, family structures tend to fall apart because everybody wants to be the boss and nobody wants to know when it's time to follow. Everybody wants to lead. Everybody wants to stand out. Everybody wants to be the one on the cover of the magazine, on the billboard, on the whatever else, the face of it all, but no one wants to say, okay, this is my turn to follow. So like early on, Ben is a genuine entrepreneur, like just visionary entrepreneur. That's just who he is. Lecrae is a visionary, but he's an implementer. So he's gonna always be about action and activity. And then Show early on was the creative director of everything.
Okay, got it.
Like not official title, but literally someone would go, yo, they want us to come here and perform, so we need to figure out what we're gonna do. And as soon as someone says that sentence, we all turn and look at Show. He's like, yes, I'm gonna do it. But and I was the one that they would always say like, oh, you're like the heart, or you're the counselor, or you're the whatever else. I genuinely, like when Lecrae said he wanted to do music and I stepped on stage with him, I was honestly just kind of hyping him up because we all would rap. I mean, rap was just fun. It was just what we did. Yeah. But literally he would leave stage and I would just share the gospel, or I would stay encourage people.
Awesome.
That's why I went. I only wanted to be there to kind of love on people, shepherd people, care for people, counsel people, like that type of stuff. Show, all of us had that bent, but Show was the one that was gonna make sure that it looked right, that we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. And Cray was like, nah, it's gotta sound a certain way. Okay, I'm gonna break out and go handle making sure we got the business part right. We're gonna come back and talk through this or that. And it just kind of fell into place. And nobody at any point was like, hey, I wanna do that now. So you stop doing that, let me do that.
Yeah.
And even if someone did feel that way, it could be talked about. Now, we was young, so it probably wasn't done the best way half the time. And then eventually Trip came into the mix, and Trip was always an anomaly. Trip Lee is one of the most rare individuals I ever met in my life. He's an old soul already. But then in addition to that, wise beyond his years, pursued education above accolades, was willing to be committed and faithful above being known.
Yeah.
Like it was just a rarity to see a teenager be that kind of person.
Yeah.
Because I met Trip when he was 15.
Really?
Yeah, he was in high school when we started like connecting with him.
My goodness.
And so to see someone at that age be that type of maturity was rare, but also just mind blowing. So oftentimes people just think we all knew each other from the hood, or we all knew each other at the school or whatever. And it's like, no, we like Trip was able to jump right in with us.
Wow.
Either we were that immature or he was that mature. And I choose to believe the latter. But regardless, like all of us kind of knew what role we would walk in, and we just owned it.
Okay, so something about me, I pull lessons out of everything.
Let's
I
go.
hear lessons out of everything. And so for those who are watching, y'all know we like to takeaways. Two takeaways I love from that. One that's just encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy to see something from the outside and be like, man, this feels like it was a plan executed, like just strategic, We would love to say that because like all of us like to feel good about ourselves.
Very much so.
To think that like we're smarter than we actually are.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that it was like, no, like we just took a step, then took another step, then took it, and we did it together. Like that's just encouraging for me. It's like, hey, like you don't need to know how to necessarily build the plane. You just start on the runway and then the pieces will come into place. And then I love that the honor y'all had for each other to know your role, because I mean, I've seen it in just other businesses where most business partnerships I know just don't work well because people, they don't want to stay in their role. Everyone wants to be the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to be the top guy. And so nothing ever gets done because no one owns their role. And so I think there's just two things from that I'm like, man, I know we can take away.
That's good.
To learn from.
Yeah, man. Thank you for noticing that.
Do you ever feel as a Christian entrepreneur that you're alone? That in a world full of people who are building their businesses off of greed and self-help, you're by yourself on an island trying to build your business God's way? Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. When I started my podcast over a year ago, I started with a mission of, could I find like-minded people who were crushing it in business, but doing it God's way? And over 50 episodes later, I've interviewed dozens of millionaires and investors and serial entrepreneurs who have all built their business God's way. And it gave me hope that there is a community of like-minded people who want to build a different way. And I realized we need more than just a podcast that can give information. We need a community that can bring transformation to our lives, to our businesses, so that we can actually build our businesses the way God designed them to be built. And that's why we launched our own online school community called the Faithustle Network. The Faithustle Network is an online space where we can learn to grow our businesses God's way together. You'll get the opportunity to learn from Christian multimillionaires, business owners, and investors, to be a part of our entrepreneur-focused Bible studies and prayer calls where we pray for each other's businesses, and receive exclusive discounts and first access to all Faith Hustle events and resources. Not to mention, you get to be a part of a growing community of hundreds of Christian business owners and content creators, all looking to build their business God's way. If this describes you, join the Faith Hustle Network today. I can't wait to see how God grows you and your business, and I hope you'll join us inside the Faith Hustle Network.
There's a phrase that I remember in my young years as a Christian, I would say all the time. If God has called me to be a peasant, I will never stoop so low to try and be a king.
Ooh.
The idea isn't necessarily that God's called me to be a peasant. The idea is wherever he really wants me to be, anything else is beneath me. Ooh. Even if it is the stage, even if it is the platform. And honest to God, like there have been moments where we've all had to sit down and kind of say, hey, encouragement, this is who you are here. And then because there's trust and relationship, we can believe it. And I think, so I've been doing music long enough, and I've been in ministry long enough, and I've been a part of other things creatively long enough to recognize whenever the product or the notoriety, the clout are the focal point, it doesn't last. Relationships fall apart, connections begin to wane. Pretty soon people start losing heart for it.
Yeah.
But if the relationships that are there are genuinely based on the connection between the people.
Yeah.
Whatever venture you get into next, it's just another venture. It's not the end all be all of your existence. And that's what was true of us. Like I could quit music tomorrow and Sho's still gonna be one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
I can quit music tomorrow and Cray's still gonna be Uncle Cray to my kids. Like it wasn't for the music that I started connecting with these people.
Beautiful.
There was already a relationship. And so
beautiful.
It's very interesting to me when I realize how, so here's what I saw happen in industry.
Yeah, go into it. Go into it.
Google, right? I've been to Google. Google has created its own world at its office space in the Bay Area. Infrastructure that makes it to where working there feels like you are a part of a community.
Yeah.
And they've done a phenomenal job of that. However, what I saw happen was that type of effort to create a workspace that felt calm and with a flow to it and connecting, and we're teams and it's a compound and you're in your part of it and so on. Everything kind of works to keep you there because that's the important thing. But before office spaces created that, there were work retreats. There were times to get away. There were conferences. That's where you fostered relationship because people didn't know how to have that, but CEOs recognized if these people can't foster connections outside of the work that they're doing, our company will suffer. So what I've seen Google do is try to create that environment daily and succeed at it. Most ministries that I've been a part of don't do that because we automatically assume connection in Jesus is enough. Oh man, we're connected because of our faith. So we should automatically get this right. We should automatically figure out how to connect and work together. And it's like, no, you haven't created a work environment with a flow to foster community. And you haven't created a network outside of this building in order for them to build and bond. So what you have are people who become factory workers who are only going to connect over the work and never feel like they have an interpersonal relationship. And so things fall apart, implode, wane, disappear, and pretty soon turnover happens. And it's just over and over and over. So I recognize for us, we just knew early on, if I don't have a genuine connection to this person, I won't be able to be here long. So,
listen. I'm like Tim. I believe in Selahs.
Hey man, let's go. Shout out Tim Ross, man.
Shout out to Tim. We love you. There is so much gold in that. I'll say this: over the years that I've been in business, I have seen a lot of times it's not a lack of a good idea. That keeps a company going from here to here. It is the camaraderie and the ability to work with people that breaks the whole thing up. So like, you can have a great movement. You can have I there's so many people, whether it's in the music space or just any other businesses where I'm like, it was your relation to people, your ability to work together, your ability to be humble, all those different things that kept this thing from actually happening. Business partnerships that can't work because if everyone has a dog in a fight, nobody wins.
Right.
Nobody wins because everybody has to, their own thing has to, be exalted. And I love that because it's almost like, this is from my vantage point, it was like, hey, there's this bigger thing that God's doing with 116, Reach Records, that if we each of us lay down our agendas, we can raise together something that's bigger than all of us. And I don't think a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people have a vision that's bigger than just them, that exists beyond them. And the humility, which is the way of Jesus, to be like, hey, I'm gonna put myself in a posture of a peasant, of a servant, to not exalt myself, but for the sake of unity, let's do this together. I think that is brilliant.
Yeah, man. So first and foremost, remember, because I don't want anybody to get it misconstrued. I am not here saying God wants people to be peasants. What I'm saying is God wants you to walk in the calling he's given you, the purpose he's given you, and to do anything else is genuinely beneath you. It is.
Yeah.
But secondly, bro, if it's not centered around genuine connection, then it's going to get lost.
Yeah.
And honestly, what tends to happen is the loudest personality in the room becomes the focal point. And then people start to operate outside their own gifting and personality to now try to be like them, to be loud so they can be seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, agendas then take over, and now you scheme in to figure out how you can get your time. It's horrible. So what I've learned is, if anything else as an entrepreneur, I'm going to make sure that I create and foster opportunities for genuine connection outside of the work that we do, because the work that we do is not is not the fullness of who they are. It's dehumanizing. Now, look at it from the other side. I've been a part of companies and I've been a part of organizations where everybody get along, everybody best friends, everybody cool, and then the work don't get done. Because they all so cool, they just kick it all the time. And then it's pretty soon, it's like, yo, man, we kind of behind on this project. Or did y'all make that call? Or did we get this done? Or have we sold anything? And it's like, we enjoy being with each other so much that now there's no one here to push and make it happen focus-wise. So you can go too far on the opposite end as well.
Yeah.
But I want people to understand, like, again, relationship is important. And Google still does out of the office retreats. They still, from higher ups all the way down to the people who just could join the company, there's still retreats and trips that happen, but the environment is there for people to foster connection or at least enjoy the work as a person, not as a factory worker.
I love that. No, I mean, everything you're saying, I didn't even know we were going this direction, and I love this direction that we're going. Because I think it's so needed. I think we are in a space. I mean, we get to do Faith Hustle nights. We do these events, right? One thing I started realizing as we started doing the events, people would come to me and, like, they genuinely, some of them are learning for the first time how to connect with others.
Yeah, bro.
Some people, like, they don't know how to talk with strangers and how to build relationship. And where, I mean, I tell everyone all the time, especially anything with Faith Hustle. I actually, Holy Water, these guys, shout out to Holy Water, they brought some of their cans. I told them, we sat down and I was like, this is not a transactional relationship. Like, I plan to do this for a long time. Like, I want to get to know y'all. I want to get to know your heart.
Yeah.
Like, and if it's just about what you can do for me, I can do for you, we're gonna lose. And it's like, that's just such a short-lived game. And I think if we can grasp that, Jim Collins, obviously Good to Great, he's brilliant. And I love his analogy of the bus, where he's like, it actually doesn't matter. It's more important to have the right people on the bus and you don't know where you're going than to have the wrong people on the bus, but you feel like you have the right vision, because you will never get there. You will never get there if you don't have the right people on your bus. The unity, the camaraderie, like you said, like, where you know each other outside of the work. You're not familiar. Like, there's like not that familiarity, but like there's that genuine, hey, I'm in this with you.
Yeah.
We're doing life together.
Yeah.
I'd love to get your perspective, because again, like, I think some people, even the Christian music, hip hop, rap, pop, whatever that's now. Again, y'all paved the path. I'm like, y'all crawled so these fools can run, in a whole new space.
Yeah.
And we're seeing people take off like this, and it's amazing. I'd love to see from your perspective, because you've been in this game for so long. What are some things that you're like, I'm getting nervous about, or some things, like, just from your wisdom of, like, I hope we're prioritizing this in the midst of all this, because there's a lot of folks here that, whether they're music or not, even just social media influence, it's still a new thing. Like, we really don't know, like, the downfall of it or what it's going to lead to.
Yeah.
We can see the benefits of it, but you know what I mean? So I just love to hear from your perspective of, like, of what you're seeing. What are some things you're seeing that, like, man, we gotta work on?
So, one, that's a great question. Thank you. I feel like it's a setup for me to say something negative about somebody, and I'm here for it. So let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's gossip and tear down. No, I'm just playing.
I was like, oh, dang. Thumbnail.
Freddie looked up like, what is happening? What is happening? I just want to give you a sound bite.
Clickbait title.
Yeah, I just want to give you a sound bite
exactly.
so people will click and be like, oh, I'm going to listen to this podcast now. Yo, Tadashi.
What's Tadashi going to say?
Tadashi dropping it. He's giving the tea out right now.
False prophets. No, sorry.
That's right. That's right. Mark 33:53. Here's what we tell the truth about Trip Lee. No, I'm just playing. If he ever heard that, he'd be like, man, that's not funny, man. He's such a noble soul. It's annoying. I grew up with locker room humor. Like he didn't grow up with that. So he's such a noble soul. I'll be like, he's like, yeah, that joke is a tad crass. He doesn't speak that way. I actually am the one.
Crass?
I actually talk like that. He doesn't. He makes fun of me because I say beverage.
You say beverage?
Yeah, I don't say drink. That's weird.
Really?
I literally would be like, hey, do you guys have a beverage? And he's like, who are you? Why do you speak this way? It's so random.
I can name on my hand all the times I've said beverage.
The number of times you've said it.
This is one of them.
You've said it more here with me now than you have in your life.
Exactly.
I get that. I say, bro, there are certain words that are no longer around that should be. Now, beverage is around. I mean, we hear it in commercials, sure. But I still will engage people and go, man, you looked smitten.
Smitten?
By that individual.
I was smitten.
You looked smitten by that individual. Or I'll hang out and something won't go my way and I'll be like, rats. And they're like, what? But it's like, you know.
I saw a whole reel about that of like white people had their sayings. Like they were in their bag.
They got them, bro. Yeah. So on one hand, I do it because I love to be verbose. I like the English.
That's another one.
I like the English vernacular. But also where my attire may fall short, my language and lingo is a good source of police repellent. No one will ever say, hey, we're looking for the guy. You mean that guy that said Farfignugan when he stubbed his toe? He clearly did not do that crime.
He's fine.
He clearly did not do that.
Yeah, if my outfit, it's like you can't give him all the reasons to be like, buddy, license and registration.
Not at all. No, it can't be him. Sir, where were you? Where were you?
We're talking about influence.
Right. Where were you an hour ago?
The state of Christian music and influence.
Where were you an hour ago? Sir, I had not yet matriculated.
Matriculated? What is with these words?
Yeah, bro. I'm like, you're not going to put me in that box, sir. I will not be the one. I will not be. The case dismissed. Case dismissed. No, but seriously, so one of the things that I think I recognize currently is when I saw the growth I'll stick with Christian hip hop specifically. When I saw the growth in Christian hip hop with regard to the number of people getting involved, I celebrated it. Like I genuinely was like, yes, finally.
Right.
Like there are more people, because don't get it twisted, bro. Like my first time ever doing something like this, my whole thought was not, oh my God, I'm nervous to go on stage. Oh my God, I hope, blah, blah. Like I was like, man, I'm gonna look lame out here, bro. I'm gonna look lame to the people. And I was so worried about that I didn't even think like, yo, this is gonna change lives.
Wow.
And God used me in spite of, right?
Right.
Now I'm looking at it like there are so many people who buy in and go, this is a dope thing to be doing. This is like, yo, man, this boy just dropped this line. That's tough. Like I'm looking at Miles Minnick on Sway. I'm looking over like Indie Tribe. I'm looking at Deal. I'm like, yo, this is amazing to see. I'm loving this. And yet when I travel the world and I see so many people doing it and getting involved in it, my concern, not that I see this happening currently, but my concern is when anything becomes oversaturated, in order for the sake of being able to stand out, you then maybe make concessions in order that you wouldn't have normally made before.
Okay.
Standards can be lost or confused, and my prayer, whenever I do think to pray for Christian hip hop or pray for people in it, it really is that they can maintain the standard that they have, not just for their faith, because instantly when I said standard, most people thought faith. I mean quality of music. Music in and of itself has had its dips and declines, sonically, creatively, all of those things. And I think oftentimes you end up seeing the church kind of follow suit with whatever's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And it ends up kind of being, kind of similar where things kind of fall short. And so I'm hoping that cats continue to raise the bar. So I get excited when I see Miles raising the bar, when I see Indie Tribe raising the bar, when I see cats that like 1K Few raising the bar. Like they're not willing to settle.
Right.
And so for a long time, it felt like there's not many of us, so I got to hold it down.
Gotcha.
But when it's a bunch of us, you feel like I don't have to hold it down as much.
Yeah.
Or I got to do what I got to do to be seen, and that's been my real prayer for real. Now, in addition to that, and this is more so now, this is my plea to the fans or the listeners. I would hope that you would recognize that these individuals who do music, who do creative things for the Lord, they're pouring out in such a way that you would want to pour back into them. Musicality is a relationship. It is not just me giving you music and you taking it and going, thanks, have a nice day.
Yeah.
But it's you listening to the music and then responding. The response needs to be either enjoyment, edification, encouragement, or some sort of way to empower these individuals. And I don't see the empowering often. Now, Christian music oftentimes has empowerment because certain genres or styles of music have their own radio stations, have their own managers, have their own booking agencies, have their own touring venues. Churches sing their music on Sunday mornings.
Right, exactly.
I don't go to churches on Sunday morning to hear somebody rapping one of my songs, so then the royalties from that come to me. We don't see that.
No.
And so what I would love to see happen is someone saying, I'm willing to receive from these people, but how can I empower and give back? Through prayer, through support, but also through trying to recognize that there needs to be a undergirding of the thing that you enjoy. It's just assumed that this happened by magic. So part of the entrepreneurial journey for us was we had to figure out a way to engage other spaces to make sure we were seen and heard, because we were doing outreach, church, and camp circuits, and pretty soon it was like I've never had a song on KLTY, K-Love, any of that.
Really?
No. I've had Gotta Live might have played on KLTY, but K-Love, no. Like, there are stations that just don't play us because it's rap. And the thought is, well, our demographic or our market isn't that. But in reality, it's Christian music. That's what your market is.
Yeah.
And we're Christians that make music, but it's not called Christian music because they don't play it. But if I say that it's so layered, right?
Yeah,
but if I say I'm a Christian artist, or people are like, cool. If I say I'm an artist that's a Christian, people are like, whoa, you're ashamed of your faith? And I'm like, I started saying that about myself, not because of shame of faith, but because the market and the industry treats me as such. Oh, you're a Christian that does music. Cool. But you're not a Christian artist, because if you were, we would play you.
Wow.
And so I just started owning it and doing so in a way to kind of intellectually say, hey, see the distinction being made?
Yeah.
I am not choosing that distinction. It has been handed to me. But individuals argued for years, like, are you a Christian that does rap, or are you a Christian rapper? And I'm like, really, honestly, I'm a Christ follower.
Right.
But ultimately, if we gonna nitpick, here's why that tag sits on me.
Right.
It's because of the industry that I am in, but not in.
Right.
So anyway, I just would hope that listeners, fans, people would learn and think of ways to genuinely encourage, edify, and empower these people that are pouring out music, and that the relationship within musicality wouldn't just be a receive, take, but it would be also a how can I support? Like there's a young lady in Dallas, she does this, like, she got this little cute show she do called Car Jam. No, I'm just playing. Dominique, what's up, girl?
Dominique is here.
She in the building. She in the building. But Dominique is empowering. She's giving back.
She is. Yeah. She's putting people on.
She's putting people on. And it's like, yo, this is a way to help empower and encourage and edify and bring exposure.
Yeah.
But there are other ways people could do it with their own means of infrastructure.
Yeah. No, that
I hope those made sense.
Brilliantly said.
It's twofold, and I don't want to ever see what we do decline from a artistic standpoint.
Yeah.
I know, sure, let's care about the faith, but majority of dudes I know that do music anyway are in close-knit communities. I'm not worried about them not having accountability.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about the fact that if they feel like someone else is getting more views, are they going to compromise their mission to get the views?
Yeah.
And it's like, I hope not. And that's not saying, I'm not saying I see that now, but that's just a thought I have.
Yeah, you always have to be thinking that, and especially when you said it's oversaturated, it's like, you know, we want to keep pushing it creatively, pushing the standard. Because I'm seeing that now. I'm like, oh man, like this is good. Like this is good.
Yeah, it's good music, bro.
I would listen to this over anything on the radio.
It's good music
right
bro.
now. And yeah, the standards wouldn't be compromised on music or faith. But honestly, even when you were saying that, I started to think of like even the progression of hip hop of like, it wasn't at award shows a lot of the time for a long time. And it's like, I feel like Christian hip hop is like, it has a cycle still. And I do think with Gen Z and then coming up, my hope is that we'll start to see that where like the radio, even if people will be listening to the radio in like 20 years, but you know what I mean? Like that hopefully
But they will be. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the pendulum will swing a bit of like what is seen as common or seen as Christian music. It's like, this is in the same category. It's still tough right now because, you know, we have this intermixing and you still have some boomers in there and like older millennials and stuff. So I'm curious if that pendulum will swing a bit. But
I'm very encouraged. After everything I said, I still exist with encouragement because I'm still a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like I haven't left it and then started critiquing it. I'm very much still a part of it. I'm releasing a new song soon. I just released a single called Give It All.
I saw that. Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing music and I'm being creative and I'm still out here creating music to release. But the thought is, if I'm going to think of this for where I exist currently, not just in life, but in my faith, what am I concerned about? What am I excited about? Like, those are the things that I think of and I pray for.
Yeah. I love that.
But one of the things that you mentioned one of the things you mentioned was this idea of not seeing it happen and not award shows and we're not seeing this or that. What came to mind was this, and I hope this really does help people because I honestly believe with all my heart this is one of the most detrimental things to the faith. Oftentimes, what I've experienced in certain circles of Christian music, Christian business, Christian organizations is transactional engagement versus relational connection. Transactional is very much so a quid pro quo, commerce-based idea of what can you give me and what can I get and what can I give you to then get what I need. And it is very transactional in how we connect and there is no depth to it. Transactional living, to me, flies in the face of Christian and biblical community. Where we are meant to connect and have relationship, transactional living dehumanizes a person to only be an objective for the sake of my acquiring something or achieving something or to have access to something, but never to know them. So when you speak about, man, I holy water's here and I plan to do this for a long time, so I want relationship. It's not that holy water is the best water you're ever going to have. Now, by God's grace, maybe it will be. But it's not that it's the best water you'll ever have, but they're some of the best people you know.
Yeah.
So their personality, their character makes the water good.
Exactly.
So when we make it just transactional, it's all based on the product.
Yeah.
And if it's just based on the product, now if the product isn't good, your treatment of them will be based on what their product is, not their character, not the identity they have in the Lord, not their personhood. It will just be based on the product. What I've experienced oftentimes, more often than not, has been If my product isn't good, then you don't treat me with quality.
Ooh.
If my product isn't good, then you dehumanize me. If my product is good, you still dehumanize me because now you think access to my product gains you access to something else. That you
There's
desire.
always a hidden intention or a motive behind it.
And what is lacking, in my humble opinion currently, like I'm about to release a song called He Deserves. And the chorus says, he deserves better. It's got Joel Barnes on it with me. But like, the whole reason I wrote the record is because we have become so transactional that now we don't have to have depth in our relationships. We just have to have enough benefit in the relationship that we do it. And I'm concerned. And when I think about award shows, I think about other things, those things, you're only there because it's a transactional moment. You did something that is so good that someone said you should be given this, but we're only going to give it to you on our show, so our show gets the notoriety of giving it to you. It's very transactional.
Man.
So what ends up happening is relational dynamics and components get tossed out the window. But in Christianity, it becomes conflicting because we call ourselves Christian artists, but most of us want to live as Christians. But the genre of Christian and the lifestyle of Christian become conflicting because the lifestyle demands relationship.
Yes.
It demands that there be relational components. Acts chapter 2 says we gather together centered around the apostles' teaching, having all things in common, breaking bread.
Yep.
And we lack the commonality because it's about commerce, not community.
Ooh.
And we've moved beyond connection for the sake of what we can get from somebody. So I genuinely get concerned, bro. Relational dynamics in the faith, in my opinion, are more important than people realize. Christian community is more important than people realize because here's what happens. The book of James, and this is what I started with. This sin is a sin that we will never, ever put as high up as other sins, but it's one of the main things that I see right now in American Christianity, and it's the sin of impartiality. Oof. We will treat people less than other people because other people have platforms. And because of that, we miss their personhood. So if you don't have a platform today, everybody clout chasing. If I ain't got a platform, I don't have personhood of value for you.
You have nothing to give me.
You have nothing to give me. You have no reason for me to recognize you. But if I have a platform, even if I'm a jerk, I get notoriety.
Yeah.
I get attention.
Yeah.
And
people switch up on you.
And it is the sin of partiality that we are falling into more and more that I think is going to be one of the key reasons why we struggle as a Big C church.
Yeah.
Because we have done that from the pulpit. We've been more impressed, and it's my soapbox for years has been, sadly, what I've experienced as a Christian leader is the shepherd has been replaced by the CEO. And you have more people who are executives than they are shepherds. And so because of that, it's easy when you have an executive as the leader to then have a transactional functioning business. It's easy then to lose out on relational dynamics, and community and small groups become think tanks and ways to keep people and keep the turnover low. And it's not necessarily just for connecting alone.
Wow.
Like it's a strategy. It's a strategy. It becomes a strategy we learned from Silicon Valley, not from Scripture.
Man.
And so you end up losing relationship. Like church planning 101 looks like Silicon Valley, cut and paste.
Yeah.
Find the investor, find the right leader, get the right people in place, put the team there. So if I got the wrong people on the bus, but I'm going to the right place, I end up in a better place. But I got the wrong people on the bus, but I'm going to somewhere I don't know. Pretty soon I don't know where I'm going, and it looks like Silicon Valley.
Wow.
And that's on an entrepreneurial business high-end level, but then you get to the everyday pragmatic aspects of it, and you go, why don't I feel like I've been a part of this community for 2 years and I've never had a conversation with the pastor.
Yeah.
With the shepherd of my soul. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's a tragic thing because even the relationship between the shepherd or the pastor and the parishioners has become transactional.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lord, please forgive us that we've become less relational and we've fostered community for the sake of recidivism, but not for the sake of growth.
Man.
And so I just pray people would lose. I genuinely do. I'm at home praying against transactional living, bro.
Wow.
I don't want anybody to ever be like, man, he was here, but he just wanted what he wanted. Ever, bro.
Oof.
Ever. I'm like, yo, that's a human.
Yeah.
That's a person.
Yeah.
That's an image bearer. So I want to recognize you, know you. I'm sorry, not to keep putting Dominique on the spot, but I wonder if it freaked her out, or at least maybe it's common. I pray it's common. But like when I had the privilege of doing my car jams moment, like I was like, where you from? How you grow up? What, you did that? Yo, I got questions. I want to know more.
Yeah.
Because you're a person.
Right.
You're not just this like random novelty that's here for my benefit to promote my thing, and then I'm gonna move on. Because when you treat people that way, it dehumanizes them. So soapbox done. I'm gonna stop beating a dead horse.
No,
but bro,
this is so good.
It's really a passion of mine. It's a pet peeve, but it's a passion of mine, bro.
No, I feel it.
Partiality is killing the American church, and we don't see it.
And I love how you called it a sin.
Yeah, bro.
Because the Bible calls it a sin.
It is, yes.
And I mean, there's so many parables, so many instances where Jesus is like, how you treat the least of these, right? Like it matters to the kingdom of God, and
it does. I won't say this is true every moment, but anytime you've ever walked into a church and felt less than, like you couldn't go up and meet the people because you don't know if you're worthy to meet the people, that does say something about you. But I oftentimes also go, is the environment conducive to feel like I'm a part of this now?
Right.
Or do I feel like I'm gonna interrupt the production? So I don't want to get in the way. And I'm like, nah, bro, this is a family. It's a hospital, it's a family.
Absolutely.
But it's not a production studio.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, man, partiality is ruining us.
Man, I got nothing to say. Like, I see that. I see that in business. I see that in the influencing culture where, like, even the events that we do, I think people have been shocked by like when I meet someone, I'm not looking at them of like, all right, how many followers you got? What can you give me? You know what I mean? It's not a even when I have guests on the show, I've said no to people who've had big followings because there's just something off. Like I'm like some like the discernment meter came on for me, and I was like and it's not. I've had people, man. I got this. I can get this to you. We can do, and I'm like,
but
no.
but this is. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No.
This is so. Those things fit in commerce.
Yeah,
they do. They fit in business. Like when I do my event, Anima Nights. Like you got to come out. You got to come out. You got to come share something, bro. Like when I created Anima Nights. Anima is the Latin word for soul. I believe every creative and every entrepreneur creates from the soul of who they are.
I love that.
And I when I did it, it was for the fact that I knew people don't. Most entrepreneurs are not as creative as they need to be, even though arrogantly they think they are. And most creatives are not entrepreneurial, and they run from it in fear, knowing they're not. Yeah. And so I'm like, how can I put these people in the same room and help them collide and grow and connect? But even when I do that, the first thing I do, I try to make it known. This is a networking opportunity. So I'm going to take the awkwardness out of the room. This is your moment to go meet someone.
Yeah.
This is your chance. I want you to talk to two people. Talk to someone that you can connect with so you can partner with them. Talk to someone else that you can learn from them.
I love that.
The next time I do another one, the first thing I'm going to say after sharing that is, here's how you network. Because I realized from the last one, people don't know how.
They don't.
Here's how you network. Hi, my name is Tadashi. What's your name? They say their name. What brought you here today?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, here's the next question. What is your vocation? Not what do you do? Not what. Why are you here? Who are you? What are you? Those questions evoke the idea of identity, and you are not what you do. You are not, your identity is not based in your work. Your identity is not based in your work. But you can ask, what brought you here tonight? What's your vocation? Hey, how do you earn an income?
Yeah.
Hey, what business have you started? That's how you jump in.
What's your passion?
What's your passion? That's how you jump in. But the problem, and so those questions, it's like, oh, does this make sense okay, so your passion is in content creation. I would love to partner. Let me know if you got any analytics. I'd love to see how you've helped grow platforms, blah, blah, blah. Great commerce question. All day, that's okay. the problem is because again, it's faith hustle, or it's like, how am I going to still keep separate your identity for who you say you are in God, so the relationship can be built based on who we are as people, not as products, not as simply what we do.
We can't separate that in our relationships.
Right.
We're treating it the same way.
Yeah. And now I think, so I want to bring the distinction, because there's nothing wrong with engaging commerce.
Yeah.
And we need more Christians in commerce.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that. The problem is oftentimes we engage Christianity with commercial behavior, with commerce behavior.
Especially here, especially Western.
Especially here. And you realize you end up making people you end up connecting with them based on their utility. And it's like, well, I no longer have need of you. You're no longer able to be utilized. So you're not worth anything to me anymore.
Man.
And so then we move on.
Yes.
And we leave a trail of wounded individuals behind us. I've seen it happen with churches who just go, one of the worst things you can do in ministry is try to convince somebody that their service at your organization is their reasonable act of worship.
Wow.
That is not what Romans 12 means. But regardless, you begin to almost be manipulated into believing if you're not willing to serve the agenda of the organization, you're not really truly willing to serve God.
Yeah.
And oftentimes the two are not the same.
Yes.
And truth be told, my volunteering here is my choice. Like that's just what it is.
Uh-huh.
But in reality, you should want to choose that because you love people.
Of course.
You love God, not because you want to be a good church member and hopefully they see you and you get more acceptance.
It's belonging. If I do this, I'm going to be accepted more. People will see me. So I'm not even doing it for the correct reason.
Right.
It's not an authentic reason for a love for Christ. It's actually for the acceptance of people.
And that speaks less to a spiritual need and more to a psychological need that you grew up with, where you realize the only way to find belonging is to show my usefulness. So my kids growing up, I have 4 boys. Growing up, we watched Thomas the Tank Engine, right? Thomas the Train.
Thomas and Friends?
Thomas and Friends.
Yeah, I grew up with that, yeah.
So at some point, I made them stop watching Thomas because, and it's probably overkill for some people, I'm sorry, but I was watching it with them one day. I watch everything with them. Whatever it is, I watch it with them. And I made them stop watching it one day because I heard Thomas say, or I heard the mayor of the town, whoever he was, say to Thomas, "You're a very useful engine, Thomas."
Oh.
And the language was like, if he wasn't useful, he's a problem. If he's useful, he's liked. And I was like, nope, turn it off. The last thing I want you to grow up thinking is that if you're not useful to another person, then you're not okay. Or that something's wrong with you, or you don't have value. And I turned it off instantly. And I started realizing in life, we start to go to people looking to see if we're useful to them.
Yes.
And if we are, then we wait for them to assign value to us. And then we look for belonging based on the assignment that's been given to us.
Yeah.
And we are giving people the role of what God has already done. I can't give you something you already got. And I can't take it away if it's not mine to take. It's not mine to take. I can't do that.
You teaching, sir.
So I'm raising my kids. I'm speaking in churches. I'm teaching in businesses. I'm traveling in music, trying to communicate this idea of identity. Genuinely, a friend of mine called me that and I just owned it. I was like, oh, I'm an identity expert. But part of my passion for speaking on identity goes hand in hand with who I am as an entrepreneur. I have to recognize that there is nothing I can give somebody that God has already given them, and I can't take it away from them because it was given by God.
Wow.
That's the clue. I can't. So I tell my kids, I was like, don't go to school looking for somebody to give you something you already got. You're looking for something that's fake. They can't give you what you already got.
Yeah.
You already got value. Now, what you're looking for is acceptance. That's different. Value and acceptance aren't the same thing.
Yes.
But when you speak about belonging and being at a church or a religious organization, you end up finding yourself being almost acting ignorant or dumb, doing foolish things that you would never do for a person for the sake of belonging, feeling like you belong to this organization. And I'm like, I don't want to ever play that game. So all that to say, end of the day, I just pray people would, in business, in commerce, make good decisions. It's okay to ask questions about analytics. But in Christianity, in community, don't lead with commerce.
Yeah.
Don't lead with clout. Don't lead with all of that. Lead with connection, genuine vulnerability. See their personhood.
Man, this is deep, man. This is so, I think in this era we're in right now, that message is so needed because I see it a lot. And I don't think we have the tools or we know how to do it correctly. And I would even say as Christian business owners, us going in with that mindset, even in our business relationship, will be our thing that makes us different, that makes us unique.
Yes.
Because the amount of stuff that you see, if that's like, hey, you know, I scratch your back, you scratch my back, all that's good, but man, like to say, hey, like I my word is my word. I'm here for you. I care about what, I mean, there's so many clients I've had where I'll call them like, hey, it's your anniversary, right? Or like remembering small stuff of like, I saw something that you posted about your mom. I just want you to know I've been praying for you. Like, this person is a human being.
Yes,
and I mean, and that's how Christ, everything you said of like, it just reminded me of like, when Jesus was baptized in the Jordan, right? This is my son who I love. Well, like the pleasure of the Lord, the stamp of approval was on him before he did anything, the start of his ministry, and I think we get it backwards, and that's not what we're called to. I'll say this last thing because I know we gotta close out here. We gotta get you going.
No, you good. You good. Listen, bro. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm grateful, bro.
This is so fun.
I'm grateful,
so
man.
fun. Speaking of pastors,
you got my wheels turning too. Go ahead.
No. Speaking of pastors, I got breakfast from my pastor Thursday for my birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Man. That's why you old enough to get that haircut now. That's what it is. You finally got old enough to get that haircut.
I finally graduated from...
Take that, Dad. Take that, Dad.
I'm 29 now, Dad. No, I love you, Dad. We're actually going to Germany next month.
With your pops?
Yeah.
That's dope. I want to go.
Together.
Take me, man.
Come on.
I just heard Germany is my second highest market. I did not know this.
Are you serious?
It's the U.S. and then Germany. Yeah, so I got to go.
Shout out to Germany.
I got to get there.
We'll be bopping some Tadashi. Come on. What
you
I was going to say.
You got lunch with your pastor?
Yeah, breakfast with my pastors for my birthday. And one, that was just, it was amazing just to connect with him. He's always been that open, like he's like the greeter. He's just shaking hands at the door. And he told me something that was so interesting. He was like, I actually always prayed to have a small church. I never wanted a big church. He's like, this is actually not my dream. He was like, I actually wanted it small because I knew the perception that would come with having a big church. And so he was like, the building that we had before, that was actually my dream. And he was like this, I had to grow into because of the need. And I'm like, okay, well, there's more people that God wants us to serve. And I just thought that was so interesting. But I'll share this quick thing.
I'm listening. Trust me.
He taught our worship team this literally this past week. And he called it welcome to the big leagues of living for Christ, of representing him, of doing it well. And so he did like a baseball diamond. So he's like, home base is your call. First base is your character. Second base is community. And then your fourth base, third base, last one, is competence. So he was like, your call is not your job.
Come on.
Your call is not your job is an assignment. So he gave an example. It's like being a mom, if someone's a mom, that's your assignment, that's not your call. Because once they get out the house, yes, you're still a mom, but like you're not in that same capacity. Then you're like searching, well, who am I, after this, right? And so your call first is to be Christ-like. And then you move, not like competence is at the end of what you can do. Second, it is character, right? How God is developing and shaping you. And then you got community. And so he was mentioning, it was like, so if I understand that my first call, one is to be with him, right? I love the scriptures where Jesus said he called the disciples unto himself, like that they may be with him. that was their first call, was to be with Christ, to be like him, right?
Yeah.
That they're his rabbi, right? If I know that, then in my relationships, in my community, we were talking earlier about business partnerships and some of the challenges that can happen. I see that as opportunities for me to become more like Christ.
Yes. Yeah.
That is actually my first call.
Yeah, bro.
Not just challenges that have no meaning. It's like, no, like all of this is actually serving the purpose of what I'm originally designed and called for. And so when you're saying this and talking about how we do transactional relationships, I think part of it is like, okay, we got to go back to the main call. My call is to be like Christ. Okay, what did Christ do in relationships?
That's good.
How did he talk about how to treat people? That's why Faith Hustle for us. I spell Faith Hustle. A lot of people think I misspelled it because I do it with one H, but it was on purpose. I don't believe there is a separation between
That's good.
how you do business and how you do your faith. Because in the same way, I don't believe in business ethics. You have ethics or you don't.
Right.
Like we're not so separate of people. Obviously, there's some things, but like, we're not so separate of people.
But I get what you mean.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, no, I'm going to represent him, and I'm going to operate the fruits of the Spirit in every place that I'm in.
Yeah.
In the business field, in church, at home with my family, and if we know that, like, okay, who I'm called to be is like him, then everything has to represent that. And so... And
it'll fall into place.
It's going to fall into place.
Yeah.
Like, and things start getting out of place when you get out of his order.
Yeah, like, so real quick, I just want to make that... I understood what you meant, because I got a lot of friends that are in regulations. They do regulatory work, who are like, no, you need rules. You need the regulations. You need ethics. You got to have ethics. I'm like, no, but I click what you're saying. Yeah. Can I share one thing?
Please.
I'm so sorry, bro.
This is a podcast.
This is what you brought to my mind.
Yes.
Exodus 23:4. If you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall bring it back to him. And it's significant that he said enemy too, right? So anything lost should be returned to its owner. Anything found should be returned to its owner. It's both and. It's not just if it's lost, the owner should just let it go and forget about it. And it's not just if someone found it, they should keep it because, well, the owner ain't around to claim it. It should be returned and they should want it back. Jesus evokes this idea. That was Deuteronomy 23. He evokes this idea in Luke 15 with the parable sheep, coin, boy. Sheep, coin, boy. Lost sheep, lost coin, lost boy. The thing that is lost should be returned to the one who it belongs to. In life, when Jesus spoke those parables, Jewish individuals would have heard that and the law would have came to mind from Deuteronomy, from Exodus and Deuteronomy. They'd have heard this law. In Deuteronomy, it says, Deuteronomy 22 says, you shall not see your brother's ox or his sheep going astray and ignore them. You shall take them back to your brother. And if he does not live near you and you do not know who he is, then you shall bring it home to your house and it shall stay with you until your brother seeks it. Then you shall restore it to him. The work of ministry was always about taking the things that has fallen away from God and been lost unto him and returning it back to him. That's the work of ministry, equipping the saints to do the work of ministry, which is to take the things that are lost and put them back in the hands of the one that lost them. Jesus evokes this idea with the parable of losing product like sheep, profit like money, and then the prodigal with the son. In every instance, whether it's your business, whether it's your finances, or whether it's your family, all of it has to be returned to the one it came from. In light of that, my ethics and principles show up regardless. But what also shows up is this heart to say, what I will never do is rob people of personhood because my ethics point back to the one that I came from. I won't rob them of personhood. I won't just be transactional. To return something is to be relational. To just keep it because I found it and it's mine is to be transactional.
Wow.
We've lived so many lives of partiality and transactional living that we will reduce things to no longer belonging or being in the need of being to the need and benefit of someone else. We'll just think of ourselves and go, I found it, it's mine, I want it, this is it, this is just for me, got it, all good. And so when I hear you speaking about meeting with your pastor and having birthday breakfast and the connection, it's like, nah, he sees the genuine goal is to put you back in the hand of the one that lost you.
Man.
You got to, and here's the thing, I don't want to communicate God lost you like God is fumbling. It's more of like, just like the shepherd loses the sheep went astray.
Yeah.
He had to go find the sheep that went astray.
Yeah.
When all these people come to your pastor and it's like, yo, I wasn't looking for a big church, but they show up because he's the one doing the work of putting them back in the hands of the one that lost them.
Yeah.
That's why churches grow, not because the production value is high,
No.
not because they hired the best band. If that's the case, then we're missing it.
Yeah.
But if I can get you back into the hands of the one that lost you, bruh, that's why I'm here. So all that to say, bro, it resonates deeply what you're saying. So anyway, that came to my mind. I was like, I've really been studying leadership recently, and leadership, leadership, anything without love is just noise. I say it all the time, bro. Like capitalism without generosity is cruelty.
Oof.
It just is, bro. It's just cruelty.
Yeah.
And leadership without love is just cruelty. Like it's the love that motivates it. So when I'm out here leading, I'm trying to get you back in the hands of the one that lost you.
Man.
That's why I'm here.
That is, I mean, I think that's why Paul had 1 Corinthians 13 smack dab in between 14 and 16.
Facts.
It's like these gifts.
That part.
What holds them together is love.
Yeah, bro.
Like you can't like operate in these gifts and not love people and not have like it's all from it and it's for it. And even how we do business, it's like, do I have God's heart for this person who I'm in business with?
Yeah.
Do I like, and something like, oh man, it doesn't take all that. It's like, yeah, maybe for someone that's not a Christ follower, but sorry, I'm a disciple of Christ. I gave up that right to do it my way a long time ago.
Yeah.
Man, this has been so good.
I hope so, bro.
Oh my gosh.
My whole goal was to give you a better podcast than Tim Ross did. I don't know if I'm gonna get you as many clicks because it's Tim Ross. But just let them know, man. Let them know, man. I'm out here. I'm on that level, cuz I'm on that level. Tell them I can come speak at your church. I can speak at your organization. I can come to a Faith Hustle night and speak. Like, let them know, bro.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
outside.
Hey, listen, we would love that. Listen,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so silly, man.
We're gonna announce this soon, but we're coming to Atlanta this fall. So
let me know.
I'm so
let
serious.
me know, bro. Yeah, shout out to Tim too, bro. I tried to connect with him. He out of the country right now, I think, or out of town. He's somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's on a sabbatical.
Yeah, he's somewhere.
Because we share the same birthday.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think he's in the Caribbean somewhere with his wife. Yeah.
Yo, have you ever thought about this? My road manager says this all the time. Like we'll get on the plane together, and he'll be like, "Man, I hope this plane don't go down because if it does, they're gonna talk about you more than they talk about me because you famous." He was like, "I'm glad my birthday not on your birthday because they would wish you before they wish me." And I was like, "You're a jerk," and he said it to be silly. But I was like, yo, it's kind of true. Like, if I happen to be on the same plane as Mariah Carey, if I have to be on the same plane as Mariah Carey, they're not going to talk about me.
No,
they're going to be like, and Mariah,
the legendary
Mariah, along with a few other no-named individuals, went down today. And they'd be like, oh, man, but I was there too. So, you share the same birthday as Tim.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I'm going to tell you happy birthday first every year now.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll say happy birthday first to you.
I will feel loved.
People going to be like, yo, man, we're going to pray for Tadashi. He not okay. He all over today. I'm so sorry.
No, I love it. I am here for it. Man, thank you for being here, taking the time to come out.
Yeah,
last thing, what are you excited about right now? Like, of what's happening in your world?
In my insecurity, I'm excited to clean these holy water cans off because I gleeked on them. But while trying to talk to you, and I'm going to tell you now, don't drink those because I gleeked the mug. So
we'll get some lights off.
I apologize. Don't let nobody drink that. Secondly, honestly, bro, I'm so excited because I really feel like I'm walking in my purpose.
Wow.
I feel like God has made me to be a creative communicator, and I feel like I'm walking in it. Like I'm releasing music. I got a new single coming out called "He Deserves" with Joel that I'm so excited about. It comes out July 2nd. I have a new have a new platform of public speaking that I'm excited about. The website is called Tadashi Speaks, and it's just exciting to go and be I wake up excited to do what it is I know I'm here to do. Like that's a great feeling, bro. And I'm excited because it's summertime, so I get to hang with my kids and just spend time with them uninterrupted, unencumbered by the early mornings.
Unencumbered
by the early mornings.
Man, you write down these words? My goodness.
Hilarious, this dude. So I really am excited about that, man. And then I think the other thing that I'm excited about, genuinely excited about, I act. And I'm getting more on-camera roles now.
Oh, let's go.
So I started doing voice acting, and I've been doing that for about 3 or 4 years now. And I've read for different spots, but I'm starting to do more on-camera work, and I'm getting roles, and I'm like, this is fun, man. I love it. Like I grew up doing theater. I'm a very, excuse me. Lecrae calls me a true mixed kid because he like, oh, you like a mixed kid for real. That's how he say it. Because I watch Broadway musicals and I grew up listening to NWA. Like, yo, man, who are you, bro? Like, I'm going to go hoop, but then after I leave, I'm going to go play pickleball. He's like, oh, you mix for real. Like, that's who you are. I love
pickleball.
Yeah, bro. But let's be real. Like, you're not finna drive to South Dallas and see pickleball courts unless it's in Bishop Arts. Like, it's not going to happen.
The gentrified
area. It's not going to happen, bro. All my in-laws live in DeSoto. Ain't no pickleball courts in DeSoto. No, they're in Grand Prairie. Now, they're
100%.
Toward Arlington. They're toward, Chicken and Pickle is on that side. It ain't on the other side.
Chicken and Pickle,
you know what I'm saying?
It's only a Grapevine in that side.
So it's only on that side, bro. So just please believe. Like, but I'm all over. And so I'm grateful and excited, man, to be able to walk in the fullness of who God has made me to be, man.
Man, I love that. And I've seen the joy of that.
Thank you, bro.
That encourages me.
Hopefully I get invited back to car jams. Like, I'm excited about all the new music that's out.
I may have an in.
I hope so.
I'll see what I can do.
Let me know, bro. I hope so. It's either car jams or K104. I don't know where to go. I feel like I got to settle, I'll be like, K104, I guess I'll come here because, car jams was busy. So
I love it.
Let me know.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for coming, man.
No doubt, bro.
Appreciate this conversation.
Honored, bro.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Faith Hustle Podcast. We hope you felt challenged, encouraged, and equipped to walk out your faith hustle. And if you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to subscribe to the podcast, whether you're listening on YouTube or any audio platform. As well, leave us a review. It helps us so much in our ratings so we can get the word out to more people. Each week we have these conversations with business owners who build their business God's way. And so we look forward to growing with you on your faith hustle journey. We'll see you next time.